What's going on? What's going on? This is your boy Cool McCain. We hitting you a little late, but we still coming with that Monarchs of Wrestling tonight. I'm joined by the one and only Key. What's up, Key?
Nothing cool. I'm chilling, man, chilling. Ready to talk some wrestling.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And on the bottom, first time on the show, but y'all know that face. It's my man Wize himself. Wise, what up?
What up, bro? What's going on?
Oh, nothing much, man. Just like y'all said, ready to get into this whole wrestling situation. We got to start at one place and one place only. The former Edge, now Adam Copeland, still the rated R superstar,
Don't say that slave
which is
name.
interesting that he's still the rated R superstar. But hey, made his AEW debut on Wrestle Dream. So Key, we'll start with you and then Wise right afterwards. What are your thoughts on the whole situation with Edge going to AEW?
I kind of knew it already. He was going to go. Well, without even looking at the dirt sheets and him definitely making a debut. Because right after, he said he had that farewell on SmackDown, beat Sheamus, and then like, I think a week later he put out a video on Twitter, and he was like he didn't leave on bad terms with WWE. He was contemplating: do he want to end it? Do he want to really hang this up, or do he want to continue? He just didn't want to continue with WWE. He wants to see what else he can do. He's been at WWE forever. Why not
25
go on
years.
and have new feuds, have new beginnings, a new change of scenery? So he moved on. He get to see his old buddy Christian. I'm sure they're going to have some things going on because he did help out Darby and Sting last night. So that we all know that feud. If you a wrestling fan, you all know Edge and Christian have been thick as thieves of things. So that's going to be interesting. I have no problems with it. Everybody is like, "Oh my gosh, he turned. He's a traitor. I got to turn in my Edge. Get out of here." It's WWE didn't own his theme song because it's not WWE's. It's Alter Bridges' song, so he can go whatever he pleases with it. Rated R superstar, rated R. I think it was trademarked to him because if that was the case, Vince would have Endeavor would have been like, no, you can't use it. But he's still rated R. He's still Adam Copeland, as we know him as. It's not Edge. That's his slave name. Don't use it. He uses his government with his mama put on his birth certificate. Adam Copeland is who we gonna be calling him by. So I like it. I'm ready for it. I'm ready to see. He said he's gonna be full time. And I will be in AEW on the 25th right here in Philly to see maybe if we'll get him. So I haven't experienced his music yet, so that'll be a first time. But I don't have no issues with it.
Me, like I kind of knew. It seems like whenever someone that has that little last hurrah in WWE, they tend to go to AEW, and I don't see nothing wrong with it. WWE didn't have anything creative wise for him, so he felt like, listen, over here I get to have matches with guys I haven't competed with. I haven't wrestled Samoa Joe. He hasn't been in the ring with Moxley. He hasn't like so. There's so many dream matches that he wants. Like he just got to meet Kenny Omega. So some of the things that he wasn't going to be able to experience in WWE, he got to. He's sorry about that. Everything he wasn't experiencing in WWE, he gets to do it now. Like I said, WWE didn't have anything for him. They didn't have a storyline for him. It was great when he came back, the pop that he got and everything. But 25 years is a good run. 25 years in the WWE is a good run. Only the issue I have with it, right, is you have all these stars in AEW and AEW that aren't really seeing TV time. Like you have a bunch of guys that have been there from day one that aren't isn't really getting. So you're getting all these WWE rethreads. What about the young talent that are there? Like, what happens with them? Like, because now this is another spot that's being taken. This is another TV time that's being taken. Who is it going to affect? Whose TV time are they taking away? Because he's supposed to be going across all platforms. He's doing Collision, Dynamite. So for me, hey, listen, go where the bag is. If you feel like these are the matches you want to have, I don't knock it, man. Listen, and as far as his theme song, the band that wrote the song, or who owns the rights to the song, those are his friends. They're like, he's like, yo, I need to have that. So they're like, go ahead, take it, use it. And I don't think WWE had trademarked the rated R superstar. So I guess Tony, and Tony got money. Tony's like, let's trademark it, let's get it done.
And it looks like he trademarked some other things too. Um, he did. So I forget the words are not in front of me, but he did trademark some stuff for merchandise purposes. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, man, I'm just excited. All as you guys already said, to kind of see the new matchups, the new different things he'll do. I'm hoping that he comes in AEW and he's more like a mentor to someone, a guy that helps put someone over. He'll take a couple of the L's, the type of thing, kind of help elevate some of the young talent. Because why you do bring up a great point. When you bring in a guy like Edge, I mean, to me, he was never the top guy in WWE, but he was always like in that tier, like somewhere in that tier, the last few years before the injury. And then when he came back, it was kind of like novelty. Like you see him 1 week, you may see him a couple times, then he's gone for a couple of months. Then he comes back. They did the whole Judgment Day thing, but he didn't want to be part of that because he didn't like the way it was going. So I just feel like, man, you kind of, if you're him, you're more sitting there looking like, where do I get the opportunity to really go out there where they'll allow me to wrestle and be the person that I am? That clearly was not going to be WWE. And then with the whole Endeavor situation, the bag probably wasn't really there, because Endeavor's chopping people. So if you're chopping people, a lot of some of these part timers you may not see as much. So I think it was a wise move for him. Fresh feuds. I shudder to think about him being on every show every week, but I do think this is a we're trying to replace CM Punk move, right? Because you lost CM Punk, you need another known name, a big name guy to kind of pop in. Difference is everybody in AEW doesn't hate Edge, right? Or excuse me, Adam Copeland. Let me not use the slave name. So since everybody doesn't hate Adam Copeland, he can go wherever. He can be on Ring of Honor. He can be on Dynamite. He can be on Collision. He could be on whatever the Friday night Rampage. He can be on Rampage. He can be on everything. I hope they don't use him on all the different shows. What I would love to see, just to throw some out there, is a group of the guys that are maybe mostly on Ring of Honor that are not getting a lot of TV time, like some kind of like little misfit group. Maybe have him kind of be their mentor, wrestle with them as well, but kind of be their mentor, kind of like what we thought we were going to get with Judgment Day, but in a different form. That would be, I think, a really good role for him and also to help elevate some of the young talent so he's not coming in just taking a spot. Don't know if Tony Khan has the originality to do it, but to me, that would be, a good role for Edge. So yeah, man, that a lot of people were excited on the AEW side, but as you said, on the WWE side, a lot of people are highly ticked off at him for making that move. I can't blame him.
I don't see why not. They need to get over it. But looks like WWE got Brian Pillman Jr.
But they've been signing them. Yeah, they've been signing him.
Okay.
But the big signing was Jade. For them, was the
Yeah.
big
Hmm.
signing was Jade. So as you get a star in her prime, like and just imagine the matches she can have in WWE compared, because we all know WWE's women roster is much better than AEW's. Um, so for her, that was where she wanted to go. That was where the best competition was at.
I just
So
hope they use her right. That's all I'm hoping and praying.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm
but I
always
think they
kind of
will.
concerned with that.
Cody being there, I think they will.
Yeah, because Cody was a big reason why she went,
Hmm.
because she has a good relationship with Cody from his time in
Yeah, he trained.
AEW.
He was training it when she first started.
Hmm. So I think that's that's an important point to mention as well, that she has support there. One of the guys that at least seems to have some backstage pull. They're using him as the on camera reason why Jay Uso is on Raw. So apparently they have a little bit of love for Cody over there. So probably the right person if you're gonna have somebody, kind of have your back over there. Cody's a good person to have behind the scenes. Brian Pillman Jr. Just want to touch on that one real quick since we brought it up. I like the move for him. because he wasn't getting a chance to really be himself in AEW. He was part of the Varsity Blondes, but then they broke Julia Hart off and put her with the House of Black, which amazing for her. If you haven't paid attention to her and her work with the House of Black, you should check it out. It's really good. It's a great character. She's only 21, so she's not winning matches or championships yet, but she's contending for them, right? She's in those conversations, and that's what you want to have. So yeah, I think that was a great move as well. So that either one of you guys want to touch on anything else for Jade or anything about Brian Pillman Jr.
Well, I am a wrestling fan, so I
Mm-hmm.
was watching him when he was on MLW with the New Heart Foundation with Teddy Hart and Davey Boy Smith Jr.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought he had potential there. And then when he went to AEW and he started teaming with Griff Garrison, I thought that was a pretty good team, but it just never seemed like they really wanted. There was really anything creative for him, and that's one thing you pointed out that that's one thing with Tony Khan. I don't really think he's that creative as far as storylines go, or how to use certain talents and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I think it's a great move for him. He gets to be in the machine. They get to work with him at the PC, and we'll see where he goes, man. If never know, you could be like sometimes some people need to get into the PC, and that might just jumpstart their career.
Yeah, he's got the look, he's got the name. I mean, the kid can go. It's just a matter of getting the character part and getting the WWE wrestling style kind of ingrained in him a little bit. I think he'll be fine.
Does he go to the PC or does he go to NXT automatically, or you stick it on main
Right.
roster?
He goes to NXT. He
Yeah, he's got to
goes.
go to NXT. He's got to go to NXT. And I will say this about Jade. Jade is stiff. So if you're wrestling Jade, you better be able to take some licks because Jade is a stiff worker. And if you're not in the business, you may not know what that means or you're not familiar. But that's somebody who, you have people that kind of hit you and then they like slap themselves or they stomp their feet and thing to make that happen. They kind of protect you when they're doing moves. And you have some people that when they hit you, they're really hitting you. They're really slamming you. They're really putting their elbow on your head. That's Jade. So I'm surprised that she's going to basically go to the main roster. I would think she would be in NXT for just a quick, 5, 6, 7 months, just enough time for her to kind of really get that move set good and get out of some of those stiff work. But hey, the WWE knows how to use her. They'll use her only in situations that'll be good for her because that's what they do. But ladies and gentlemen, we'll move on. So we'll start with our WWE Weekly Rebound. So the way we do it here is instead of going through every match, right? Because there are some matches that you don't care about, nobody wants to see, and we don't even want to talk about them. We'll just go around and feel free to give any particular segments or matches or anything that happened. We'll start with Raw that you saw that you may want to, dig your chops in a little bit. And we'll start with you this time, Watts.
Oh man, I want to see where this goes with Drew McIntyre. Actually, I want to see like this whole situation with Drew, where he's like kind of salty that they brought Jay in and he doesn't understand how everybody's embracing him and all this, and he's kind of so I'm want to see. I want to see where they go with that. Drew always plays a good heel, and right now it seems like there's so many baby faces and not that many heels going on in Raw. So maybe having Drew turn heel and have some interesting matches.
Yeah, I dig it. What about you, Key?
I'm definitely seeing where this whole Jay and him, getting everybody's trust. Am I tired of the Judgment Day and KO and Sammy being in the main event all the dang on time? Jeez, I mean, I know they got other stuff. they got other main events they can do, but it was for the tag team champ. So I mean, I can't say too much about that. And that was a hell of a match. But I want to see where JD McDonough gets put in. Is he officially going to be put in Judgment Day? Or are they setting up for Survivor Series with War Games? So that's definitely interesting to see where all this plays out with Jay and Drew. He just says, I'll win my match and I'm out. I don't care who gets beat up. I'm not running back down to help y'all. I just wrestled. You make me think I'm gonna help y'all. So definitely Drew is better as a heel. I didn't really like him as a face too much, but definitely see how far this Jay storyline can go. So that's definitely was hitting on Raw, and Raw hasn't been too bad lately. So we'll see.
The Raws has some good storylines. What I like about it is they're kind of weaving them together. They're doing a much better job of storytelling now. They're kind of, it feels like they saw what happened with the height of the bloodline, and they can always bring that back once Roman gets here. But they're kind of really weaving stories in. Like you got the whole Jay thing, you got Cody, you got Sammy and KO kind of looking like they're starting to accept KO as actually Jay Uso a little bit. Then you've got Drew and what's going on with Drew. You've got that albatross who's going to be traded to SmackDown. We still don't know, right? Then you've got Nia. She's finally had some words this past week, so we're starting to get a little character development on her. Sort of just coming in and beating everybody, which is great. Don't get me wrong, but actually having some thoughts on the character and what she's doing, and not just the physicality. So it'll be interesting to see how some of these things kind of get placed together, where things go, where Jade Cargill ends up at after whatever stint she has in the Performance Center. So it's a lot of things to look out for. And there, when we talk about the NXT situation, I got a couple things I want to talk about that, but we'll say that for them. All right, so we'll go on to SmackDown. All right, so Key, we'll start with you on this one.
My thoughts is they're gonna turn on Jay. That's Jimmy. That's just my because one Heyman and is just Solo there. Solo don't give a care in the world, and Heyman's just there, because he's there because Roman's not there. But Roman still tells him what to do. And here comes Jimmy thinking he just come in and just take charge because that's what it feels like he's doing. And I feel like they're going to turn on him yet again. Like, what are you doing? Why are you back here? Just because I'm going don't mean you running things. I get that vibe. The whole Cena and LA Knight, that's going to be a good tag team. I knew LA Knight was going to come out. He was supposed to come out before last week, but he caught COVID, so he couldn't come in the building. That's going to be a good tag match. But I'm really interested to see when Roman comes back, what happens with Jimmy. Because that's my whole vibe. Like, I'm saying, you're doing all this to get back in his good graces. They're going to turn on him. I got this feeling they're going to turn on him. They're going to turn on him. Solo's going to turn. I mean, this is when it comes in the demise of Roman Reigns and he loses the title. But I still think they're going to kick Jimmy out again.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of surprises coming up. I think there's going to be a new member coming soon. We'll touch on that a little bit later, but yeah, I think there's someone new coming to the bloodline. Two? You think there's two new members?
I think there's two.
You think there's two?
But
there's one that's already in the company. I know there's one that's already in the company.
I ain't gonna lie, that was funny. Mia slapped the crap out of Jimmy. She slapped the mess out of him.
I think there's one already in the company that they'll be coming up to the bloodline. But LA Knight, that's me. That's pairing them with the GOAT is cool. It gets to show you. It's just showing you where his star is going. Like, and the thing is, WWE had no intentions of giving them this kind of push.
I couldn't help myself,
bro. But the fans love him.
He's just so over. Like,
he is so over with the fans. The fans love him. I'm loving him. It's like He is killing it right now. He is the hottest thing on SmackDown to me. Like I tune into SmackDown to see what is he gonna say. Because to me, again, I'm a huge wrestling fan. I'm a Attitude Era, and he brings that vibe to me. That's what everybody says, but that's what he knows how to cut a promo, right?
Mhm.
He knows how to work in the ring. It's like this is, to me. People are like, oh, he copying The Rock, or he copying Stone Cold. Listen, he's bringing a formula that he knows works.
He
This is a
comes out
formula
with
that's
gems.
it's been proven to work.
Facts. This is
It's just he's just doing something that he knows. Hey, listen, this works. People love this. And they could talk all the smack they want about him, but he is so hot right now, man. The fans love what he's bringing to the table. Again, like I said, I tune into SmackDown just to see what he's gonna say, who he's got something to say to. Him and Miz had a great feud.
Oh
I
my,
loved it. It was great. But
that
now
promo
I
was
think
epic.
it's time for main event. I think it's time for the main event. I think it's time to put him up there battling.
main event LA Knight, like main event Jay Uso.
Let me talk to you.
Hey, I do agree though. He's like what I like that WWE's done with him is they haven't overused him, right? Like sometimes when somebody's hot, WWE has a tendency to try to put him on every show every week. They in the main event like every week. They've allowed him to just be him, right? He's on every week. He's consistent, but it's not overkill.
Mhm.
Speaking of overkill, that Judgment Day, that's overkill. They're forcing, they're trying to get the Judgment Day to be like the Bloodline was, and they're not the Bloodline. So let's just let the Judgment Day be the Judgment Day, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind
I,
of where I sit with them.
I feel that they just need to just if they're gonna bring JD, make JD a member, just make him a member. Like stop this back and forth and like so for me, if they kick Priest out, it'll be a mistake. Like that's one of the rumors that they're saying is they're gonna kick Priest out and put JD in there, and that's probably gonna cost Priest the Money in the Bank thing.
But what if they,
Senior
yeah, senior Money in the Bank?
Money in the Bank. Yeah.
Senior.
So what if they, what if they did something to tell us what they're doing, do, but we're not looking at it? And you might say, "Cool, what are you talking about? Who just lost their belt?" And mommy's not gonna be happy that they lost gold because mommy's got gold. The
They gonna
tag team
keep.
championships have gold.
Mm.
Dom lost his gold because he had to go out there by himself. And Trick Willie, I mean, I know we're gonna talk about it later, but my boy Trick Willie got the NXT North American Championship back to NXT. And for y'all who know Trick Willie is Trick Williams, the former sidekick of him, Carmelo
Him.
Hayes. We refer to him as him, only him. But yeah, it's his former, I guess, sidekick, buddy, or whatever. But he kind of went on his own acrimoniously, so there was no bad blood. He just said, "Hey, I'm gonna go do my thing. You can do your thing. I'm gonna support you. I'll cheer you on. Do your thing." So I think that there's a little bit of watching out for that because honestly, there's nothing else that Don could do in a Judgment Day. Right? He needs to get better in the ring. His character, top tier. Like if he picks up a microphone and acts like he's gonna say something, everybody moves.
Yeah.
He is hated.
Yes,
But
he is just that fact that once he picks up the mic and they just boo him, and like you are doing the right thing when you have that much heat.
mhm.
Like, you must be doing something right for you to have that much. Like other than to get big pops, to get heat like that is priceless. Like there's nothing you
I
can
think some of
nothing you
that
can do. Yeah,
is
it's like
pumped
nothing
in
you can
now.
do. That heat right there is just nominal. They like again, he can't say a word. They won't allow him to say a word.
Yeah. And then two, like for me, the correct direction to go with Dom would be to put him in a tag team. find him a tag team partner, put him in a tag team with somebody. Like split him from the Judgment Day and put him in a tag team. I'm not
With
gonna
who
name
though?
I'm not gonna name a specific person yet. I'm gonna wait to see if they actually do it. But they split them up. I do have two really good people in mind, but I'm gonna hold on to those for now to see if they do it. But that would be the right way to go with Dom, in my opinion. All right. So, any other thoughts on SmackDown, guys?
I'm good on SmackDown.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of just kind of moving things along. We know we got a pay per view coming up, so this week right here is going to be juicy on Raw and SmackDown because the week before the pay per view, the writers actually show up, people start getting focused. Vince
Yeah.
steps back. They go ahead and give Vince a little alcohol and a female friend to keep him busy so they can do what they need to do.
Well, I do want to touch on something.
Have at it.
The Lashley and the Street Profits. I didn't like the way. I understand why they did it because you're trying to bring Bobby Lashley's trying to bring that heel out in them. So I kind of understand why they did that segment 2 weeks ago where they lost to the LWO and he walked away, and so and I'm loving the fact I'm loving their new attitude. I'm loving the fact that they're gonna be heels. I'm waiting for him to arrive and we have the HB 2.0, but that's just wait to see that. But I'm interested to see where they go with that. Where is Lashley going to be in the world title picture, or is he going to be with the US champion? We already know the Profits tag team. They want that gold, so we'll see.
Man, don't do that to me, WWE. Get my hopes and dreams up and y'all don't do it. Like, I'm all psyched up for the Hurt Business 2.0. Like, it's perfect. It is perfect opportunity right here. Just go on and do with it. Um, the Profits, I love them as a heel or as a face. It don't matter to me now because they both got talent. Montez a little bit higher than Dawkins, but they can talk on the mic. They can work in the ring. Bobby's pushing that out of him right now. He's like in the managerial role for them because I don't think they have anything set up for him by himself yet. So this is like perfect to get recruitments, and then once that happens, then I think you'll see Lashley come back to his old, go back to fighting. But this is perfect. I love it. He was like, "Give me the suits and them watches back." I was like, "Oh." I was like, "Okay."
I was like,
I thought he was going to attack.
Bobby.
I thought they was going to attack Theory and Grayson Waller, but they waited to get Ray and Escobar. I was like, okay.
Yeah. I like that he told them like it's like they almost didn't get it, so they came out. He's like, "Figure it out, or give my stuff back. Figure it out," and they figured it out. Then once they figured it out, he was happy. He's hugging, dapping up again, smiles back on Bobby's face. Yeah, I love this whole like slow burn, right? Because
Yeah.
I think we're gonna get like the happy Street Profits. They come out with their music on, doing a thing with the cup, he. But as soon as they hit that ring, completely different.
And
And
listen,
that's what we need.
I got to give Angelo Dawkins his props, man. He has stepped his game up big time. Like
Mm-hmm.
when Montez was hurt and he was doing the singles and he was doing solo and all that, he's improved in the ring. He's improved on the mic. So you see when you see someone who works hard and you see the improvement in them, you got to give him their props, man. So I got to definitely give him his flowers. He's really stepped up his game. He's really because we everybody thought like we all said that Montez is the breakout star of that team, but he's really stepped up his game. I really have to admit he has stepped up his game.
Yep. He's improved his body as well. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So he's done it all. He's worked on the mic work, in ring skills, the look, the body type, everything. I mean, he's been working, and you can tell. And I mean, you're right. You gotta step up because for a while everybody said, "Oh man, it's gonna be one of them things where Montez gonna have to break away from Angelo, and then Angelo's gonna be Marty Jannetty." I don't think Angelo's gonna be Marty Jannetty anymore. I don't think we can say that anymore. He's going to be able to hold his own. Like you said,
Mhm.
he may be a mid tier star, whereas Montez might be a top level superstar. But still, there's nothing wrong with that either.
Yeah.
So I do like that. I do like where they're going. And I think the fact that they put them together, and we're going to talk about the NXT Bound for Glory. Man, you know what? I'm tired of waiting. Let's talk about the NXT Bound for Glory. You know what I'm saying? There's Tiffany Stratton. She lost. The
But
rumors
listen,
are
she all right. She lost, but she's come a long way.
heck of a long way. Her
She's come
first
a long
character
way.
was terrible.
Huh?
Her first character was terrible.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
she's
The
on it.
daddy's girl and all that.
Mhm.
But she stepped up her game. She has stepped up her game to the fact where she might get that main roster push now. She might get pushed up to the main roster. I don't know if they got something there for her yet, but that match with Becky shows that she can hang with the big girls.
Mhm. It really does. And Tiffany lost, so I think that that's her final match in NXT.
She can't lose to no Barbies. That was funny. That was hilarious. I'm like, did they really pull out these Barbie dolls and her falling on them and some Legos? But no, it was a good match though. I wouldn't mind seeing her in the main roster. We all know Becky, but that's just weird. Like, I feel like Becky's going backwards, but she done did everything in WWE, I guess.
They just wanted to make her a grand slam. They just wanted to give her a
Yeah,
grand
they did all
slam.
this. Yeah, to make her a grand
See,
slam. That's
all
what all this
about
is for.
records nowadays. It seems like, right?
Mhm.
So, give her the belt. She could have the grand slam, and then somebody. She going up against what Tegan Knox. They're not going to let her drop that. So,
No, not tonight. No.
but not tonight. But she'll drop it to somebody in the next team.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I mean, it's nothing wrong. It's nothing positive about her having it long term. It's kind of
No.
like Dominic. I knew Dominic was going to lose soon because you can't have that belt out of NXT for too long.
As much as I love Trick Williams, I just wanted to see Dragon Lee with it though. I did want to see Dragon Lee with the North American title. But don't get me wrong, man. Trick Williams has definitely he's come out of the shadow of Carmelo Hayes. He's
Mhm.
definitely stepped up his game and he's always been dope on the mic. He's always had that mic skills. That's something he's never really liked. But now he's really showing what he's capable of doing in the ring. So he's a physical specimen. Saying
Mhm.
he's in great shape, big, strong dude. So I want to see where he takes it. If he can take the North American title to where Carmelo took it. That's what I want to see.
Trick Willie. Yeah, I like the match itself. Like I said, it's not surprising to me because the win means a lot because you beat somebody from the main roster. So it's another like, here's another gift for you, Trick Willie. We give you one more little thing here, Trick. But at the same time, you beat him when he didn't have mommy. So it was kind of like perfect storyline wise. Because again,
Yeah.
oh Dom Dom, how come nobody else loses when I'm not here but you? Right. So it can sow some seeds, right, between him and
Yeah.
JD Madonna as a replacement for him actually makes Judgment Day better, in my opinion. Because I think JD Madonna is a better actual wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I like the idea, I like where they did it. I like the spot that they picked. I kind of thought this, but I wasn't sure that WWE would pull the trick. I was like, would they let Trick Willie actually win? I'm like, I don't know. This would make sense, but I don't know because WWE is WWE. You could
Yeah.
think they should go left and they go down. You should think they go up and they go right. Like you don't know. You know what I'm saying? So they actually did something that makes sense with that one. So another, and I do believe, obviously Don's going to be back focusing on the main roster and being the guy to support everybody else, and in my opinion, get kicked out of Judgment Day for failure. So another match we have to talk about, and I believe this was his final match in NXT as well, and that's one Braun Breaker.
What is this? What is there else left for him to prove, man? There's nothing else for him to
Exactly.
prove in NXT.
Exactly. That's
There's
why I feel
nothing.
like, yeah.
He's really found his groove. He's really found that character that's gonna fit up on the main roster. And I'm excited, man. He's 25 years old. He's phenomenal athlete. Still needs some work behind on the mic, but in the ring, he's a Steiner, man. Like like I knew ring wise he was gonna be ready. It's just the mic skills which he's developing, and he's just gonna get better.
I mean, his dad didn't really have good mic skills either, but
But his uncle had
yeah.
some great promos, boy.
Man, when Scott Steiner won the championship, and he came out and said he spent the whole night in nothing but his championship with his freaks. Big Papa Pump got the hook up holler, if you hear me, bruh. I was dying laughing.
I'm sorry, my favorite one is he calls some old Joe fat. Fat son of he's fat.
We could go probably another hour just
talking
on Scott Steiner and his promos, because that dude, when they so the thing is, when he dyed his hair, cut it, and they let him just gave him a hot mic and let him go, you could go back to WCW when he was in TNA, Impact, whatever it was called, during those different times, and then in WWE, like, he was wild, and I loved it because they was like, you know what, Scott, just go out there and do you, and they just let him go, and he always delivered. So I think Brian got a little bit of that in him. We've seen a little bit of that. We haven't seen all of it, but I think we see a little bit of that in him. If they just let him go, I think he'll be fine too. And like what I said, we need more heels on the main roster. So let's bring in a heel.
Mm-hmm.
Makes perfect sense to me.
You put him on Raw or SmackDown?
I feel like you want to put him on Raw because you have more time. And there's a whole bunch more people for him to run through, and push down the card more if he's on Raw. I mean, that's what it is. They
finally made Corbin look like he's relevant again.
Yeah, but they had to go to NXT to do it, so that's a concern. That's a concern. I will let a cat out of the bag that Wise asked me earlier, because I can't hold it any longer. Corbin would be a perfect partner for Dominic. He's one of the two that I had in mind.
What? Corbin and Dom?
Yes. Nobody likes Corbin. They hate Dom.
This is true.
So the hate they would get, Corbin would be the workhorse, and then Dom would get to come along and learn under somebody that knows how to wrestle, has never been good at mastering the character part, but knows how to wrestle, right? Knows how to get that part done. So then that rub from being with Dom, the hate that Corbin would get, I can just imagine. I'm just excited to imagine. So that was one of my two. I'll go ahead and throw it out there. We also had, of course, him lost. So we're going to talk about that. Got to talk about that. And I think it was clear that Dragunov was going to be the guy to beat him. Mm-hmm. If it was this time they fought, if it was the next time they fought, but this was the guy who was going to be the next NXT champion. Just like it was clear it was going to be Carmelo when Brian had to bait. So I think it was the same type of situation. What do you guys thoughts on the match between Dragunov and him?
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him tonight.
Whoo, boy.
Or break it tonight. You never know. You might see either one tonight. If they're moving up, might get a surprise today.
Yeah.
All I know is that match was hella good. Dragunov is a crazy SOB, but oh my god, like just his coast to coast, his moves, his just in the ring work is crazy. And when he gets up to the main roster,
but to me he looks stiff. You talking about someone who's stiff, like
yeah.
But that's his gimmick.
He's hitting you.
Yeah, that's his gimmick.
Like when he's hitting. I'll go back to the match of the year. Gunther and Dragunov.
Yeah.
The first one they had, that was too brutal for TV.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like Carmelo surprised me with what the show, even though I know he was capable, but the show the match that they put on was amazing. They were beating the crap out of each other. They just told a great. When you're able to tell a great story in the ring, It goes so much smoother, and that's what they were able to do. They were able to tell a great story in the ring. Dragunov hit him with the bomb off the top rope, and that was it, man. And it was over for him. Carmelo had a great run. Like I said, I'm ready to see Hurt Business 2.0. Like when they show the picture of those four together, I was like, yeah, I gotta see this. Got to be happening. This faction has to come.
And see, the thing is, you remember we had the foreshadowing a few months ago. Bobby was talking to him and Trick.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, we're not going to talk about that right now. We're going to focus on y'all. Is it time to talk about it now, Bobby? This should be time to talk about it. Because him is coming. I mean, I feel like I'll say this. After what WWE did to me at WrestleMania on night 2 in the main event, just because all the dots connect somewhere, I got to see it first. Because like I said, these clowns will lead you everything, believe that they're going to go left and they go down. You know what I'm saying? For real. They'll do everything to make you believe you're going to be in the center and you're on the far right. Like they just, but this makes too much sense for them not to do it. I don't care if they call it something else. They got to call it Hurt Business. I don't care what you call it.
Yeah.
You can call
I
it
just want to see
weed
that
whooping,
faction.
but let's put them together. You know what I'm saying? But I feel it's coming, man. I feel it's coming. I think it needs to be big.
I think it is coming. I think it is coming soon, very soon. One thing I want to touch on: Schism, no longer,
And
no
we're
more.
gonna talk about that too. So
So
go have at
so
it.
so there was a comment made by Gacy when he got rid of Ava. He's like, "Yo, you have another family you can go to." So that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. That's
Wow.
what I'm thinking. There might be another bloodline member somewhere. So when that little Easter egg came out, I'm like, did he do say, yo, you got a family somewhere? I'm like, okay.
And think about it. Meechin just slapped the snot out of Jimmy. They ain't gonna hit Meechin because she's a female. But Ava Rain can hit her many times.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. I didn't even think about that when he said that. Like that went over my head.
I said I'm a fan, and when he said, I'm like, is he like telling her to go
eats the eggs?
Yeah.
All throughout this joint, just eats the egg and it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, man, I thought No Mercy was really good overall. But I
Yes.
just wanted to, of course, highlight those important ones. But yeah, Ava
That
Rain.
team match was good too.
Yeah. Now, the one thing I want everybody to think about is two guys that you've seen quite a few pictures of lately with Jimmy J and Solo. One is Jacob Fatu, currently in MLW, and one
Bozilla.
is Zilla Fatu, with Yokozuna's son, I believe.
No,
If I remember
Umaga.
No,
correctly.
that's
No,
Umaga's son.
excuse me,
Umaga's
Umaga's
son.
son. Yeah, Umaga's son. That was in a reality of wrestling with Booker T, but he left there. He's appeared at MLW, but those would be two good people to bring in on. I mean, it doesn't have to be they're
I
going to
mean,
stay
Zillow's
forever,
still raw though. I don't think he's,
I
but
think he would have to go to the PC. I think
you could, yeah.
like he's still in the early, like when they moved up Solo had it. I thought Solo was ready. I thought Solo was ready when he moved up. Zillow, they gotta have to put some work into him. He's still raw. He's still learning and stuff. And Jacob Fatu is just phenomenal. Like,
So follow me. So I don't think Ava's quite ready for the main roster. Personally, I think they could do it storyline wise because it makes sense.
yeah,
But what if Zilla comes to NXT with Ava? Right? He's her back, that's fam. She's his back, that's fam. Right? Then you have Jacob. He's main roster ready off the rip. When Roman Reigns comes back, Jacob comes out. He's acknowledging Roman Reigns. They got the problem with Meechin, right? How they gonna handle that problem? You know what we need to do? We need to get a little bit more of our fam real quick to handle some problems. So I feel like Zilla and Ava could be a little bit double duty, kind of like Don was when he was the champ. Just for a minute, just when they need a little extra backup, they just bring them in, they do their thing, then they go on back to NXT for a little bit. I would like to see them do that, um, because you need the female, and exposure for Ava Rain would be better than doing like Nia Jax being traded to SmackDown. Like Nia Jax being traded would not be a bad thing at all, and that would automatically put another member in the bloodline. So that's another angle you could go. But I think if you were to have Zilla and Ava in NXT, but they do show up on Raw sometime because when you're part of the bloodline, they make their own rules anyway. So you could be part of NXT and then just show up on SmackDown or show up at big events when needed. But you'll have to be there the rest of the time. When Roman's not there, they don't have to be there. And Roman's hardly not there, so they could be at NXT most of the time.
Yeah.
Jacob comes in, he's full time, he's there. He looking at Jimmy like Solo, like, I don't care. What are we supposed to do? Paul Heyman, he got the phone call, Roman Reigns every 5 seconds. So, you know, just a thought.
Or listen to this one. Jacob and Zillow join Jay.
That could happen. It might be
That'll
Jay and
be-
Jimmy when Jimmy get kicked out again.
You know what would be crazy if they did do that? All right, little bro, I'm sorry. You was right. We the greatest tag. That would be weird though. But I could see that happen. I mean, Hardy's did it.
I think for me, man, Jimmy's character is so fool now that he wouldn't be anywhere that he can't be in control. Because he thinks he's like main event Jimmy Uso. In his own mind, he is obviously. And he's already been hating on Roman, right? He's already said some slick things about Roman. He hasn't addressed that with the tribal chief. So I do think he's about to get the boot, and I think Jacob is going to slide in. But Wise, you got a good point. There's another wing of the faction that could end up springing up on Raw. So we'll see. We'll see. What about you, Keith? What are your thoughts? You got any wild thoughts?
I mean, I don't. Maybe they can bring Tamina back. I mean, she ain't doing nothing. That's another person. But you want to get a little younger, but Tamina's still that force. They just didn't never use Tamina right anyway. But
Yeah.
I mean, why not? Her and Mia Yim will go at it. That'll be interesting.
So we're not using slave names at all. You just refuse to call people by their slave name.
Huh?
I said, so you just refuse to call people by their slave name, huh? It just doesn't even. It's just doesn't. It's not even part of your vocabulary. I get it. All right. So then we'll move on, y'all, because this was a meaty, juicy week for wrestling. Wrestle Dream. What are you guys' thoughts on Wrestle Dream?
I only literally caught the end, and that was Edge. So I didn't really watch the pay-per-view like that. I was trying to go back earlier and look at clips and snippets. I did see like I said, I seen the ending of Darby and Christian and then Edge, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't see the whole thing.
I just felt like it's just like, but this is AEW's thing anyway, right? They don't really build up many of their matches. They don't build up. They're not really great storytellers. Let's be honest. That at AEW, they're not really that great storytellers. There's so much potential with AEW. I just feel like that sometimes they just waste talent with some of the stuff that they do. Some of the matches just don't make sense sometimes to me. Like Darby Allin's supposed to be a pillar, right? Supposed to be one of the 4 pillars. But he's
supposed to be.
He's stuck in and I love Christian. I love Christian and everything, but he's stuck in in a storyline with Christian and Luchasaurus. That's and there's so much more. I get it. Nick Wayne betrayed him. I just feel like they can tell a much better story with Darby than what they're doing. Um, a lot of stuff there. They could be using Jay White differently. I feel like they got him that Bullet Club Gold, whatever he's a part of with Juice Robinson. I just think he just needs to disassociate himself from the Bullet Club and just come out, Switchblade, just promote him and build him up because he's a phenomenal wrestler.
But it's
It's
still
just
his era.
like I said, it just
It's my
they waste a lot of opportunities to me. AEW wastes a lot of opportunities.
But no, I think all jokes aside, Switchblade could beat MJF for that world championship. Like literally. I mean, I know he's got this right off storyline now where he got stomped down and beat up as somebody having a devil mask. Obviously, it's not MJF. So to me, what would be the ultimate swerve for that would be if that ended up being Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, and the other two doofuses. That would be the
Or
ultimate swerve.
or or Holiday,
Mm,
MLW.
mm,
And then
Mhm.
they had the Easter egg in when Cole was
With Mask,
talking
yeah.
when Cole was talking to MJF, the mask was in behind him. So I
mhm.
mean, definitely gonna be a crazy angle. And everybody thought it was a work about his ankle. No, his ankle's really busted. His ankle's really jacked up because Britt Baker put it out on Twitter, and I seen it.
Yeah, but well, I mean, he could be the mastermind, not necessarily actually probably like the mastermind behind it. Um, the matches themselves, the matches are always great. I'll say this: like you don't see a lot of bad actual matches. The problem is, like you said, there's not many that have a real storyline. One of the ones that had a storyline that I really like was the Don Callis family, versus the Golden, was it the Golden Elite? Is what they're calling them now. Omega, no, my bad, because that doesn't include. So yeah, Jericho, Omega, and Ibushi versus the Callis family. So I thought that was a really good match. I like the fact that Sammy Guevara was the one that pinned him because I think Sammy Guevara ends up being the biggest star to come out of this. I think he's the guy that gets the biggest elevation for being part of this whole angle. So I like that he got that win. I like that Takeshita is like right there. They call him like the alpha because he beat Kenny Omega. So they call him the alpha. I like that. But I think that Sammy Guevara being put into this really, really helps elevate this whole entire feud. And then, of course, that adds Chris Jericho to it. FTR wins. Of course, they always win. I mean, whatever. Like at this point, it's like who's going to actually beat them? They're gonna have to
It's,
take
it's,
like they have
that,
to bring in 3 or 4 guys from WWE and have them all together beat him because it's ridiculous.
and to me, it's been like
Oh, go ahead, Wise.
that was one thing that there was pride. They were so prideful about, oh, we have the best tag team in all of wrestling. Like, but now you're like your whole tag team division is like apart. Like, yes, you got the guns. But other than the guns and FTR, the claim is stuck in trios. Um, you got Aussie Open, but what else you have? Like, what else you have? The Lucha Brothers. You lose Santana and Ortiz because they're gonna start feuding, which I'm happy for. I think Santana is ready for that breakout solo career. Um,
Yeah, that's
but
the only
this,
reason he came back. He like, go put the tag team. I'm not coming back.
yeah, I just feel that's one of their weakest things is their tag team division.
Yeah, they don't put enough work. And a funny point. So we never get any acknowledgement about the Young Bucks being 2/3 of the Ring of Honor 3-man titles ever. We don't ever
Yeah.
get that talked about. The best part of the pay-per-view for me, of course, for a lot of people was Edge coming out. No, the best part for me was Nick Wayne turning on Darby Allin and costing him the third match, and that's how Darby Allin lost. I think a lot of people don't see that this has been coming for a while. It got beat up by Swerve, just the things that happen is like, I'm gonna turn on you eventually. You've had Christian coming out every week talking about how you should come be with me and blah blah blah. Right. So whenever AEW does these type of things, AEW doesn't have the capability to send you down the wrong path. If you pay attention, they're telling you what they're going to do ahead of time, because again, Tony Khan is the main decision maker. I think Bryan Danielson is getting some power backstage as far as helping out with the creative side. So that's why you see some things make a little bit more sense and be more, just flow, but still too many thrown together matches. They're always great. There's just not the story to get you invested. Like Bryan Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr., right? This is a match that was supposed to happen before, but Bryan Danielson was hurt. But them having that match, it's amazing. But there's no real story behind it. They didn't even announce the match until like 2 weeks before. You added Ricky Starks and Wheeler Yuta. That was not even talked about beforehand, right? Those are the type of things that we have happen.
And that's
But
what kind of
the matches are good.
Yeah, but that's why I'm like, I love Ricky Starks. Like Ricky Starks, I loved him when he was in NWA. I knew he would be a star. But now you have him doing what now? Like he had all this heat on. He was getting hot when him and Powerhouse Hobbs was battling and stuff. And then it's like you just cool them off. Like you put them in this type of match. And that's why I feel like adding Adam Copeland, and who knows who else they're gonna add after whoever's 90s day. Like, I would love to see Mustafa Ali. I would love to see Mustafa Ali because I felt WWE underutilized him. But bringing in the original Bro, all these other things, you have talent there that you're not using properly right now. And that's one of my main issues with them, is that they have talent that they don't give the opportunity to because you keep bringing in these WWE rethreads. That's just how I feel. Like this, like Powerhouse Hobbs deserves to get more airtime than he gets. What are they doing with Hook? Hook was at one point one of the hottest sellers. He's in the mid card thing, whatever.
Teaming with Orange Cassidy, in a tag team with Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, Orange Cassidy, like the best friends, Orange Cassidy.
Scorpio Sky, instant star, never on TV.
When is he coming back?
Ethan he had Page, a couple of matches, but
you have Ethan, but he's been injured. Scorpio Sky's been injured. Ethan Page is probably in some of the best shape he's ever been in his life, looking phenomenal, but he's not really getting the burn that he deserves.
Miro,
he's just being wasted there. Miro isn't doing anything, being wasted. So you sign all these talent. You sign all this talent, not getting any burn. Now Andrade's finally getting some action. For how long?
Right.
So when are you gonna find the time to really start giving some of these guys their shine?
My biggest beef, and I know we'll move on so we can talk about at least the 5-slide matches that we have so far. So Byron was watching. Byron, what's going on? He says, thoughts on my favorite wrestler, Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross is the WWE version of the guys that we're talking about right now. Karrion Kross is an amazing character. If you saw his work when he was Killer Kross in Impact or whatever they were calling it at the time, yeah, his character's perfect. The dark side of everything, he's just not being used correctly. They brought him back with Scarlett this time, so that's better. But The problem is when you have these guys that have a defined like role already, you build on that. The whole Scarlett's a soothsayer and she's picking people for him to go after. We don't need all that. We never needed that. He could just come out and smack somebody because I don't like you. He could just put somebody in the cross jacket backstage and start a beef. Like you went too far. It was a point where I was almost like, are they trying to put him like in the Judgment Day or something? Like, what are they doing? Because they had him look like a weird emo guy too. So I don't know, man. I think Karrion Cross would be better off somewhere else because he would have more freedom as far as uh, on the creative side. Because WWE doesn't really give you, well, Endeavor now needs to start saying it doesn't give you much freedom on the
Well,
creative
it's
side.
TKO. It's TKO.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. TKO is the name of the actual company
It's
that has
but
WWE and
but
UFC. It's
to touch on
TKO.
Karrion Cross, he's one of my favorites. Um, I loved what they were doing with him in NXT. I love the way that they had boosted him up on NXT. Now, if you can go back to something similar to what that character was, it'll be so much better. But now you got. I just don't like the way they're using him. I just don't like the way they're writing for him. They especially like when they separated him and Scarlett and did that whole gladiator look shit. That just
That
kind
was
of
Him
terrible,
looking like fake Krang off of Ninja Turtles.
yeah.
bro. That was terrible.
So
I don't like him with the hair either, though. I don't like the hair, man. It looks weird.
well, that's because he's also doing movies too. So
I mean, I get it. I'm just saying it looks weird because you used to
I
seeing
know
it with
we
like
not the shaving hair.
yeah, or even like some type of buzz cut or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Then,
It's
but
just
then,
weird, but
then you'll get people like, oh, he looks so much like Randy Orton. So
yeah, that's true.
I'm saying so. WWE has to make ways so that they can differentiate their wrestlers, and so.
They can't say it looks too much like John Cena. It's too much hair to be John Cena.
All right.
Oh man! And if you notice, when we talked about SmackDown, we didn't talk about John Cena because the only thing that John Cena is doing right now is one simple thing: helping get guys over. That's his role. While he's not making movies because there's a strike. Uh, so
I figured
guys,
that. I
oh,
figured that
oh, wait.
out. I was like, oh, writer's strike. No wonder they got stuff to do.
Yep. All right. So we'll go over the confirmed matches for Fastlane so far. Who you guys think's a win? Of course, we'll get some bonus matches. It's Friday night, maybe one or two tonight. Raw stars because that's how it rolls. But from the matches that we have confirmed so far, so the first one is John Cena, LA Knight versus the Bloodline, which is Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso. So who you guys got win that match? Kiba, we'll start with you.
Gonna go with Cena and LA Knight. Is You can't have them lose there, in my opinion. Especially Cena getting beat down. He ain't no partner. Here comes LA Knight. I mean, why not? But I do like Cena and LA Knight to win this.
Well,
What about you, Wise?
I agree with that, but I agree with it because if they're gonna go the way you're talking about, they're gonna kick Jimmy out of. So having him take the loss kind of goes into them betraying him and kicking him out finally for good from the bloodline. So I feel that LA Knight and Cena win that match just so it can fit to what you're trying to say, where they're gonna kick him out, and now look, there's somebody. Oh, look, you lost. You took the L. You got pinned. You ain't you're the weak link here. So that's why I feel like that they're gonna. That's why Cena and I feel Knight and Cena gonna win.
Yeah, I definitely feel like you're gonna put Knight and Cena together. They're gonna win the match. If it's outside interference, something botched or whatever, it doesn't matter. They are going to win. So the next match is the World Heavyweight Championship: Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura. This is a last man standing match. Wise, who you got?
Seth Rollins, man. Like I love Shinsuke. But Seth Rollins he's either gonna lose it to Cody or or Senor Money in the Bank cashes in. Who knows? But I just feel Seth Rollins is gonna win this.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I've got Seth Rollins too. Key, who you got?
I got Seth. I don't think they have him drop it just yet to Shinsuke. Um, I'm sure
Shinsuke's
it's
definitely
gonna
gonna win
be.
that though.
I'm sure it's gonna be a fight though. But I'm still take Seth. I don't think he drops it to Shinsuke. He will drop it. It just won't be to Shinsuke.
What if this is the one? Seth beats Shinsuke, but he's badly damaged, and Judgment Day comes out, gives him a little bit more of a beat down, and then the cash in. This could be the one. This could be the cash in.
Be the one. Yeah.
This would be a good spot for it after the last man standing match. All right, then we have the WWE Women's Championship. Uh, Io Sky versus Asuka versus Charlotte. Key, who you got?
They always inserting Charlotte in the championship matches. But she did make a point though. She did have a good point with Bailey. She was just like you was the four horsewomen, part of the four horsewomen. Now you stuck behind Io. So I mean, she did have a good point. But to insert her into that, I feel like they're gonna have Io lose. Um, much as I want to say that Io wins, I mean Io could. I think Io retains, but it's going to be some beef. I don't know. Um, I don't think they put it on Bailey, but put it on Charlotte, I'm going to be irked. So I'm going to say Io retains.
I agree. I think Io's gonna retain. To me, she is the. I'm tired of Charlotte. Like I love what Io does in the ring. I'm saying, so I just feel that they're gonna keep the title on her. Eventually eventually she's gonna turn face because you've seen when Charlotte was talking to Bailey and all that, and we know how Bailey can get. So I just feel that's gonna end up breaking up Damage Control is the fact that Bailey wants to be champ, and so she's gonna betray Io eventually. But it's I just think Io's just right now she's the best one in that division.
So I think Io should win. But if she doesn't win, she won't be involved in the decision. So they love Charlotte. So they could go Charlotte pinning Asuka. But I think Io either wins the match or she loses without being pinned. One of those two things happen. Io's going to come out just looking strong. Best decision would be for her to win. Agree with y'all. But I think if someone else wins, it's going to be Charlotte, and it's going to be pinning Asuka. I don't think Asuka has a chance to win this match.
That'd be crazy. She's the one who wins the match, right?
That would be crazy, but I don't think
I
she has a
feel like
chance.
for Charlotte to get put into the title contention so many times, they want her to be her dad. Because what she's at 14, 15 right now. And when she does get it, she don't hold it for that long. So what's the point of putting it on her if she's not going to be long reigning? I feel like they want her to break her dad's record because they're not going to give Cena a title push for him to break it. So they want her to break her dad's record.
Don't worry about. Yeah, they don't care how long she's a champ, just that she's champion like 80 times in 6 months. They don't care.
Yeah.
So a couple of prediction matches that I think we may see. Not 100% confirmed yet, but I think this may be the ones that get confirmed tonight. So I think we're going to get Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre. I think we're going to get Women's World Championship Rhea versus Nia Jax. I think we'll get Gunther versus Ciampa. There'll be something that stops their match from being concluded or something, or whatever, because I think they're supposed to have a contract signed tonight or something tonight. So those are a couple of more I think will happen. Very concerning in their not being anywhere or scheduled. Why isn't Judgment Day defending against anyone? This is the problem with undisputed tag team champions. Yeah, they can go to both shows, and that's how you can get people that you want from one show to the other show. But Judgment Day just had a match last week. Them having a match Sunday wouldn't be too much, but it doesn't like they care about the tag team belts again. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn had the belts before either one of them got hurt. They really cared about the tag team belts. When the Usos had them, they really cared. Now,
you was right, Cool.
Back to we don't really care.
Cool, I think you was right because Mommy's in the ring and Dom and Priest is coming down now, and she don't look happy.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, any other matches you guys think could go on?
No, I think the ones that you pretty much announced might happen because of course, Rhea's upset about her, the whole Nia Jax.
Mm-hmm.
So that might can happen. So yeah, I mean, Fastlane, you know how they like to put stuff together last minute, and then surprisingly, it works. So
it'd be something obscure from like the beginning of a beef because Fastlane, no beefs are going to end at Fastlane, right? Except for the Shinsuke, Seth Rollins. Everything else is Fastlane is just a placeholder premium live event. It's not even a premium live event. It's just a live event. In my opinion. Why is any other storylines you got rolling out, man? I mean, any other matches? Excuse me, for Fastlane. My bad.
Nah, I want to see. I want to see how they build up this week and stuff, and if they're gonna be any surprises. But I don't know. We'll see. I definitely want to see what's to come, man. Definitely see if they'll have what they're gonna do with Ray in the U.S. title, and we already know Gunther's gonna wrestle Ciampa at Fastlane, so we'll see.
Right. Yep. All right, so guys, I'm gonna play a couple of things here, and then we're gonna hop back on and just give your final thoughts, and then at that point we'll also tell everybody where they can find you at. A couple of things to hit first.
This is and you're watching Shady Sports Network. Tune in, hit that like button.
You might wonder, what do these guys do? Player signing announcements. I never in a million years thought you would actually come on to break this news. So without further ado, go ahead and tell everybody what happened today.
Yeah, man. I just had to work out with the Cincinnati Bengals. Finding me right out.
Without further ado, I'd like to announce that, I'll be taking my talents to Salina Liberty.
This just in, the Major League of Football is reportedly collapsing, unable to pay hotel room bills, with players being kicked out of their rooms and hotel managers asking them to leave voluntarily without issue.
Hey, Eagles fan. Join my man Cool McCain and a host of others as they break down every single game, every single week in an objective manner, and also from a fan's perspective as well. Remember, this cast feels just like you. Nobody likes you. And you don't care. Fly, Eagles, fly. Eagles Elite Podcast, every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and other podcast outlets.
I just want to drop a couple of things there for you guys.
Likes us, we don't care. Sorry.
All right, so Key, we'll start with you. Tell people where they can find you.
Yes.
Any last thoughts that you have?
Any last thoughts? I don't have any. Hopefully, like I said, Raw and SmackDown has been pretty good since the takeover, or since the, merger. Everything's been complete. Want to see where Raw goes because Raw, they're talking about Raw leaving USA. So will SmackDown become 3 hours and Raw then goes down to 2? Who knows? We don't know where Raw's going to go. But I do not want to see Raw on Disney. That would be horrible to do. But y'all can always find me at Key in the Building everywhere: YouTube, Twitter, not Facebook, IG. But I'm always around. Y'all can find me anywhere. Sports Wave Network, Sports Empire Network. I'm all over the place, so you can find me anywhere.
Well, also, you can find Key Wednesday on Eagles Elite, just to let y'all know. All right, the big dog himself, my big homie. Where can we find you, Wise?
You can find me on my podcast, Stuck in My Mind podcast. You can go check out my YouTube channel, Real Wise TV. You catch me on my show, my brother, my partner, Cole Johnson with Mentality. You can catch that on Real Wise TV, as well as the Comey Media YouTube channel, as well as the BS3 network. And I'm just thanks for having me, man. I get to talk. Listen, one of the things I love talking about is wrestling. Like I said, I'm a huge wrestling fan. Been watching wrestling since the 80s, and I'm just glad I was able to come on and take part of this, man. I definitely want to make some more appearances because anytime I get to talk wrestling, man, I enjoy.
Hey, the door's open. Both of y'all, every week the door's open. I want to shout out my boy Playmaker. He couldn't make it tonight, but boy, Playmaker is wild, and I love it. Y'all can find me everywhere. Eagles Elite podcast on Wednesdays. Every other night almost I have something on playcallsportstalk.com/live. Also shout out Shady Sports Network. Got a lot of content I do with them as well. Sports Wave Network, we coming. I'll be on it tonight at 9-ish with the Commanders. I forgot what's the name of our show. Brain fart.
He's on now.
Yeah, but I'll be on there in a little bit for that. So shout out to everybody. We out for the week. Make sure you tune in next week. And as I always say, tell 2 of your friends and 4 of your enemies to check us out. Just because they don't like you doesn't mean they won't like us.